Good day, everyone. For today's lesson, we will talk about the administration of President Macapagal. Diosdado Pangan Macapagal Sr. was born on September 28, 1910 and died on April 21, 1997. A native of Lubao, Pampanga, Macapagal graduated from the University of the Philippines and University of Santo Tomas, both in Manila, after which he worked as a lawyer for the government. He was the ninth President of the Philippines, serving from 1961 to 1965, and the sixth Vice President, serving from 1957 to 1961. He also served as a member of the House of Representatives and headed the Constitutional Convention of 1970. He first won election in 1949 to the House of Representatives, representing the 1st District in his home province of Pampanga. In 1957, he became the Vice President under the rule of President Carlos P. Garcia, whom he later defeated in the 1961 election. He was the father of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who followed his path as President of the Philippines from 2000 to 2010. About his presidency. As President, Macapagal worked to suppress graft and corruption and to stimulate the Philippine economy. He introduced the country's first land reform law, placed the peso on the free currency exchange market, and liberalized foreign exchange and import controls. Many of his reforms, however, were crippled by a Congress dominated by the rival Nacionalista Party. He is known for shifting the country's observance of Independence Day from July 4 to June 12, commemorating the day President Emilio Aguinaldo unilaterally declared the independence of the First Philippine Republic from the Spanish Empire in 1898. He stood for re-election in 1965 and was defeated by Ferdinand Marcos, who subsequently ruled for 20 years. His major legislation signed. First, Republic Act No. 3512, an act creating a Fisheries Commission, defining its power and duties and functions and appropriating funds therefor. Second, the Republic Act No. 3518, an act creating the Philippine Veterans Bank and for other purposes. Third, Republic Act No. 3844, an act to ordain the Agricultural Land Reform Code and to institute land reforms in the Philippines, including the abolition of tenancy and the channeling of capital into industry, provide for the necessary implementing agencies, appropriate funds therefore, and for other purposes. Fourth, Republic Act No. 4166, an act changing the date of Philippine Independence Day from July 4 to June 12 and declaring July 4 as Philippine Republic Day. Further, amending for the purpose Section 21 of the Revised Administrative Code. And the last one, Republic Act No. 4180, an act amending Republic Act No. 602, otherwise known as the Minimum Wage Law, by raising the minimum wage for certain workers and other purposes. The 1965 presidential campaign. Towards the end of his term, Macapagal decided to seek re-election to continue seeking reforms he claimed were stifled by a dominant and cooperative opposition in Congress. With Senate President Ferdinand Marcos, a fellow member of the Liberal Party, unable to win his party's nomination due to Macapagal's re-election bid, Marcos switched allegiance to the rival Nacionalista Party to oppose Macapagal. and among the issues raised against the incumbent administration were graft and corruption, race in consumer goods, and persisting peace and order issues. Macapagal was defeated by Marcos in November 1965 polls. Post-presidency and death. Macapagal announced his retirement from politics following the 1965 loss to Marcos. In 1971, he was elected president of the Constitutional Convention that drafted what became the 1973 Constitution. In his retirement, Macapagal devoted much of his time to reading and writing. He published his presidential memoir, authored several books about government and economics, and wrote a weekly column for the Manila Bulletin newspaper. He died because of heart failure, pneumonia, and renal complications at Makati Medical Center on April 21, 1997, and he is buried at the libingan ng mga bayani. And in regards to his legacy, on September 28, 2009, Macapagal's daughter, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, inaugurated the President Diosdado Macapagal Museum and Library, located at his hometown of Lubao, Pampanga. In addition, President Benigno Aquino III also declared September 28 as a special non-holiday in Macapagal's home province of Pampanga to commemorate the centennial of his birth. And there you have it, President Diosdado Macapagal.